Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have Burger King and I'm really excited. I'm super hungry, so I'm just gonna start eating because it's been a long day. You guys, I feel like it's been a long past couple days, okay? And honestly, you guys, I really want to be like that girl. Like, you know that girl that's like really like bubbly and friendly and positive and in a good mood, but not like too much where you know that they're like faking it and you're like, calm down. There's no way you're like that happy all the time, you know? I so badly want to be that girl, and I want to be the type of person that like looks at like the positive side of things and like be optimistic. I'm telling you, I so badly want to be that, and I just feel like I'm not. I have always been the type of person who like, I just always assume the worst. I always look at the bad side of things. I know that's a terrible, terrible habit that I have, and I know that I need to work on it, but I try, I want to, but I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about me and my brain. I'm so envious. I follow a lot of like channels. I found a lot of like vlog channels that I like, and they're so just like happy and positive and like upbeat, and they try to see like the, you know, they're optimists. They see the good side of things, and I'm so much not like that, even though I really truly want to be. I don't even know. I feel like I'm saying all this to preface that like I went to Boston and it was fun. I had a good time, but also it was terrible. And I don't even mean to be. And honestly, when I tell the story, it's probably gonna sound just so dumb. You know what I mean? You're gonna be like, okay girl, get it together. But please keep in mind, I don't know. I have to look at the bad side of things. I have to always assume that something's gonna go wrong. I gotta work on it, okay? But, by the way, I got mozzarella fries. I don't know what it is. These are better than their mozzarella sticks. It's probably the exact same thing, just longer, but these just like taste better for some reason. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but their marinara I don't love, but if you do like the tiniest little dip, it's not too bad. So I might use that. But so I went to Boston with my stepmom, and we were going to a Red Sox game. And we want to like make it a tradition to go every year. And this year we wanted to spend the night, which I already, like, I wanted to go. I was excited to spend the night. Also, in the same hand, I was like super anxious. I was super nervous. I was like kind of uncomfortable. I'm not very keen on like staying places that I'm not like familiar with, especially like the big like busy city. It was just freaking me out, but I was like, it'll be fun, it'll be fine, whatever. So the drive there, I love I love my stepmom, okay? I love her to death. Her driving absolutely terrifies me. It just does. I am very much like a passenger driver, which I know can be obnoxious, and I try not to say too much because I don't want to be annoying, but I fear for my life every time she drives. She's not a bad driver. I mean that. She's not a bad driver. But she'll like kind of like look around, and she always drifts. And I always think we're gonna sideswipe somebody. Really, I do. And I get so scared. And she's like, it's fine. I'm fine. Girl, you may be fine. I'm not fine, okay? So I'm like, whatever. So we get there, and I was like, I didn't know that it was supposed to rain. I thought that it was only supposed to be just like cooler, which I was excited for. I was like, you know, because it won't be super hot. We'll be able to walk around, hang out, and we won't be like dying. But it started raining when we were on our way there. And then we were like, hopefully it'll like let up. It won't be as bad. And I told her, I was like, I feel like I'm a curse with like these baseball games, because I went with her my very first time. I think the game ended up getting delayed or postponed or something. I think delayed maybe. And then when I went with Steven, it got delayed because there was like thunder and lightning and everything. And they ended up playing in the rain. To preface this later story, this is important, because I'm like, but they played in the rain after they delayed it, and then whatever, so it was raining, so I was like, ugh. So we were really, really hoping that it would work out, whatever. And I got chicken nuggets, and I got a little buffalo sauce. And we also, I don't love a lot of their sauces. I've tried them, I just don't like them. I don't like their ranch, I don't like their honey mustard, I don't like their sweet and sour. I hate barbecue sauce in general. So really the only one that I get from there is buffalo. But anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so it's raining. We finally make it there. We park in the parking garage, which is like right down the street from the hotel. We get to the hotel, this cute little place, and the guy, he owns it. He owns like the place. I think he technically, I don't know, but I don't know. It wasn't like he was mean, but he just gave off this vibe. And I don't know, he just wasn't very friendly, which made me feel even worse, because I was already like super anxious and like kind of uncomfortable and everything. And I just feel like that made me feel worse. So I was like, and he was like kind of like condescending almost. It was weird. But we get to the room, and it's cute. You know, it's like, it's smaller, but I was like, well, we're not going to spend a whole lot of room in the hotel anyway, you know what I mean? So, like, who cares? So that was fine. And then we wanted to walk, like, to Fenway Park. It's raining. So I was like, well, and this is my fault. This is my bad. I was like, well, I don't know if I want to bring my sweatshirt, because it was like, it was raining, but it wasn't like downpouring, but it was raining. But I was like, you know, I'm a bigger person. If you couldn't tell, my physique, I'm a larger person. And I was like, well, if I'm moving around a lot and I'm going to be eating food, like my body temperature is going to be up there. You know what I mean? I'm going to be warm. I'm going to be too hot for a sweatshirt. And she asked me multiple times, like, are you sure you don't want to bring a sweatshirt? Are you sure? Are you sure? I'm like, yeah. No, I'm fine. Well, we're walking there. And it's like, I feel like the rain is getting like harder and harder as we're going. By the time we get there, I am soaking wet, okay? I'm just like, and I'm trying not to be miserable. And I'm like, but I'm soaking wet. We went into like 15,000 different souvenir shops. They didn't have a lot of stuff in my size. And the stuff that they did have in my size was like astronomical. I'm like, I'm not paying that. So, I don't know. We're trying to like find our seats, because I'm not very familiar with the park itself. I've only been there a couple times. And the sections that I've been in have been different every single time. So we're trying to find our seats. They're like telling us to go here. We go there. They tell us, oh no, you have to go here. We go there. You got to go here. I'm like, trying to have patience. Be patient. Patience is a virtue. Trying to be in a good mood. Okay. So we finally get to our seats. And we're sitting there and we take it all in, and it's like awesome, it's cool, we're having a good time. Everything's fine and dandy. This guy that works there, he comes up to us, just makes like, you know, casual conversation, just to be friendly, whatever. And he told us, he's like, oh, well, they're probably gonna like post or delay the game, like half an hour or whatever. We're like, yeah, whatever. So we're sitting there, and like, she really wanted Dunkin', she really wanted iced coffee, because we hadn't had one. I was also dying for an iced coffee. But, so we go down, because apparently it's supposed to be on the ground level. And the second we got down there, immediately my anxiety's like through the roof. There's like 5,000 people everywhere. I can't even move. I can't move around. Like, I feel like I can't even breathe. I feel so claustrophobic. I can't find anything. I see 50,000 other food places. I don't see a Dunkin' anywhere, okay? We went like back and forth, couldn't find anything, and we were both just like, And I'm getting like crabby because I just want to go sit down. And I never want to move from my seat ever again. I got a honey mustard wrap as well. They folded it like a brick, so I don't even know. But it'll still be good. Honestly, I like the wraps. They're really good. But we're like, yeah, you know what? We're going to go back to our seats. So then we couldn't figure out where we came from. So then we're wandering around trying to get back to our seats. So I was just like, ugh. So we go sit down, sitting there for a little bit, and then we're like, okay, let's get food because they have food. Oh, well, I asked somebody when we got back to like our level. I was like, do you know where the Dunkin' is? Because we went to the ground floor. And I went back and forth and I can't find anything. He's like, oh, well, you know, apparently if you go to level 2, it's a lot easier to find because the sign's like a way more obvious. I was like, I'm not doing it. I cursed the Dunkin'. I'm never looking for a Dunkin' again, okay? I have like PTSD from that experience. So we're like, okay, there's food on this level. Let's go look. I go, we see this little lady. She's got like a little shop with stuff set up. She had this hoodie that I really liked. She didn't have my size though. And then the one hoodie that she did have in my size, I didn't love it. But I was like, you know, so I passed. But then we get our food. That was like $60 something. I was like, and not even for much, but I get it. Whatever. That's like a totally another different topic that we could talk about, but I'm not going to get into that. Because I could just like rant and ramble on, and I don't want to sound like a crab. So we get our food, we go sit down. We're sitting there, we're eating, and I'm starting to freeze at this point. I'm like, this is my fault. I should have brought my sweatshirt. I'm like, I'm cold. And my stepmom brought like a raincoat, and she also had another sweatshirt. So I was like, can I use that to cover up, you know? So I'm like covered up there, bundled, and I'm freezing to death. I was debating. I really was. I was like, maybe I should get that sweatshirt so I'm not cold the whole game. But also, I don't want to spend that much on a sweatshirt that I don't super love. You know what I mean? And then we're sitting there, and then they have a message up on the board that they postponed the game until the next day because of the rain. And I'm like, well, that's not going to work because we couldn't do the next day. You know, because we both had to like go back home and get ready for work and everything. So I was really, really, really disappointed. And I was like, you have to be kidding. Like, I was so sad. And I was like, but it's not like it's thundering or lightning, and it wasn't like downpouring. I was like, I know they played in the rain before. I was really upset. So then I was like, well, if we're going to walk around, I'm going to buy the sweatshirt. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to have to walk all the way back to the hotel, get my sweatshirt, and then come all the way back and walk around. You know what I mean? I was like, I'll just suck it up and deal with my punishment for not bringing my own sweatshirt. You know, but if we're gonna just go back to the hotel, try to figure out what we're doing, I won't bother buying a sweatshirt. I'll just suck it up until we get to the room and just wear the sweatshirt that I brought. Well, we were gonna walk around, so I was like, okay, I'll buy the sweatshirt. Too much. I don't even want to talk about how much money it was, and I really don't love it. Honestly, I might try to dye it. If you guys like know any good like clothing dye, I saw this I think it's like RIT branded, but some people say that it's really not any good. So if you know any good brands, let me know. But I might want to dye it because it's kind of like a off-white cream color, which I don't love on me. I feel like it makes me look like a big giant marshmallow. And I feel like they're always like kind of see-through, which I hate. So anyways, I buy the sweatshirt because it was my own stupidity. And then it like turns into like, okay, so we're going back to the room. And I'm like, then I wouldn't have bought the sweatshirt. But so we're walking to the room, and it's raining, and I'm telling you, I just felt like so cold and so wet. I was like, I was so upset. I was like, you know, we came all this way. I booked these tickets. We're not even gonna be able to use them tomorrow. We paid for like a room to stay there overnight, and it's like, for what? But I'm trying to be like, we're still gonna make the most of it. We're still gonna have fun. You know, I'm trying to like be positive, but like really, I'm not feeling very positive. So we get to the room. We're trying to like look at stuff like in the area that we want to do. It's tough because like where our hotel was, it wasn't super far away from Fenway, but we also didn't want to walk like 500 miles in the rain. You know, it was cold and it's rainy. So we were watching like some movies, you know, just trying to have like some bonding time together, you know, just hang out, have a little girls time. And, you know, it was getting a little bit later, so we were going to get dinner. And we did end up finding a really good place for dinner. It's like Woody's something. Woody's Bar and Grill, maybe? I don't know. But they had really yummy pizza. Their buffalo chicken wings were super, super good. So, luckily that turned out good. I was thankful for that. So by the time we go to walk to the restaurant, it's still raining, still cold. To walk back to the hotel, it's raining, it's cold. And I told her, I was like, I've never felt so like cold and wet for like this stretch of time ever in my life. It felt like I was just like cold and wet for like 18 hours straight. I don't even know. I was like, I was not having it. I was not feeling good. It was not a good time. So we get back to the room. I'm like trying to get out of like my soaking wet clothes. And the room, it's like small and the air is not great, but it kind of was like okay at that moment because I was like cold, you know? So it was kind of like cozy a little bit. And we were just like laying there watching movies and stuff. And then by the time I was going to go to bed, it was hard for me to sleep because, again, I feel like I was just in like an uncomfortable environment that I'm not familiar with, and it started getting like stuffy and hot. And I am a type of person, like when I go to bed, I have to be freezing cold. Like when we go to bed, I have the fan going. I have like 500 fans going. I like it to be ice cold. I don't like being warm even a little bit. I just don't. And I was warm. And the only thing they had, I couldn't find any like thermostat. I looked to see if we could like do whatever with the air, but they gave us this like tiny little table fan, but my stepmom had it over on her side. And I could still feel it, you know, a bit from like where I was, but I was like dying and I kept waking up every 2 hours and I was like, ugh. And then we get up in the morning and I'm not a morning person. It's just, it's never been me. I'm like a totally different being in the morning. Whatever I say or do in the morning, take with a grain of salt because I'm just not me. First thing in the morning. But we get up, we're trying to get ready. I have to shower in the morning. I shower pretty much like every morning. My hair gets so greasy in like 2 seconds. I can't not shower. I'll feel gross. The bathroom though, like if you're just going to the bathroom, it's no big deal. It's fine. But when you're trying to shower, the shower is like this big. It's like, it feels like a little like a Barbie doll shower. It's like this big. And then when you get out of the shower and you're trying to like dry off and whatever, the bathroom also feels like it like is this big. I felt so claustrophobic. I was like, oh my god, I can't do this. Like seriously, I was tweaking out. Like for what? I don't even know. But I couldn't. I was feeling very overwhelmed, very claustrophobic. I was like, get me out of this place. I just want to go home. But I wanted us to have a good day. We were going to go to Quincy Market, which I've never been to, so I was excited. Trying to think positive here. So she showers, gets ready, and she wants breakfast. And they have free breakfast at this place that we're staying at. And it's pretty much like right outside our door is where they have the breakfast set up. So we go out there to look around. And they had like a decent amount of stuff. They had, you know, like Danishes, and they had cereal, they had yogurt, they had bagels, they had eggs. I don't know, they had a bunch of stuff. It was decent. And we're trying to like get our food. And the guy that I told you about who checked us in, who was like kind of nasty, like came out and was like hollering at us about eating at the counter and how that's like illegal and it's some violation or something. And I'm like, we're not eating. I was like, yeah, we're just gonna bring it to our room. Like, and he kept like hollering at us, and I'm just like, I'm looking at my stepmom because I'm like, I'm about to snap on this dude. Like, he's so I'm just trying to ignore him. I'm like getting my stuff. I'm going to the room. I'm sitting there like I'm just not in the mood. I don't want to say anything because I feel like then I'm gonna be snappy, because that is just how I am, and I'm trying to like work on that. But if I'm like frustrated and annoyed and someone's like talking to me or whatever, I get like super snippy and mean, so I try not to say anything. But he just annoyed me. So we eat. We're waiting for Quincy Market to open. We're trying to drive to Quincy Market. Okay? It's like 10 minutes away. I'm trying to do the directions on my phone because she doesn't have a GPS on her car. But it's like, you have to stay in this lane, but then there's like 2 or 3 lanes that go that direction. And it suggests which one that you should be in. So I'm trying to like look at it, and we're like here, but then another lane merges, so technically you have to like move over one. It was just a nightmare. We ended up taking the wrong exit, and we ended up going under this tunnel, and it's like, I swear to God, 6 or 7 lanes wide. I'm screeching inside, okay? I wanted to claw out of my skin. I just wanted to close my eyes and just say, there's no place like home, and just appear at my house and just never do it again. I couldn't do it. But, and the number of times that people honked at us because we're trying to like merge into the other lane, it was just, by the time we got there, I was in a bad mood. And I'm telling you, I'm trying so desperately. I don't want to be mean to my stepmom. I don't want her to have like a bad time because of me. You know what I mean? And I want to have a good time. But I am like so stressed. I'm like shaking because I'm like so stressed out. I'm like so upset. I could have thrown up, honestly. It was so bad. But anyway, we get there and it's fun. You know what I mean? They have like so many shops. They have shops like outside. They have that like big building, and it's just like full of stuff to eat. It was crazy. Like, it was so overwhelming. And we ended up getting lunch there. And they had sweatshirts for like half of what I paid for mine that I really don't like. So I was like, of course. You know, here they have like some reasonable sweatshirts. There at the park, no, not at all. So, but yeah, it was fun. You know, we had fun at Quincy Market. It was busy, but inside the building I was super stressed because there was like 5,000 people like getting food, but they had so much stuff, like so many different cuisines, and they had like bakeries and sweets and stuff. It's really, really cool. I don't know if you guys have ever like been to Boston or been to Quincy Market. That was my first time, but it was a lot of fun. I feel like the clothes, at least for some of like the stands that were like outside and stuff, and even some of like the inside stores, they were pretty like reasonably priced compared to the prices at the park. So my stepmom ended up getting this like super cute sweatshirt, and like I said, it was like half of what I paid. So yeah, and then we just ended up like coming home after that because we both had to like get ready for work the next day and everything. And luckily the drive home wasn't too bad, but you guys, it's like, oh, and then I tried to sell the tickets, right? Because you can't get a refund on those tickets. That's so frustrating to me, and I get it to a certain extent, but I feel like I bought tickets for the day that I could go. And I understand it's also not their fault if the game has to be postponed, because no one controls the weather. But I feel like there should be some exception to the rule if the game is like postponed and you can't make it. You know what I mean? If the game was like canceled and they refunded you, or like say like I just couldn't go that day, I understand that they probably wouldn't refund me, but the game was postponed the next day and I couldn't make it. You know what I mean? That day I didn't buy tickets for that day. I bought tickets for the day before, you know, because that's when I could go. So I was just like super frustrated with that, and I tried to sell them, and I tried to sell them for like way less than I even paid for them, and no one bought them. So that's like a couple $100 basically thrown in the trash. I was really, really upset about that. But I don't know, you guys. All in all, I had fun. I really, really did. I know I sound like I just whined and complained the whole time, but I genuinely did have fun. I really wish we could have seen the game. Our seats were really cool. I had never sat there with her before. The first time that we went, we were like little sausages in those tiny little seats. But then me and Steven went and we sat in like a different section and it was a lot more like roomy. So that's what I booked for me and my stepmom. And she like loved it. You know, I was loving it. We were really comfortable. But I was really, really disappointed that they postponed the game. But I don't know. We had a good trip. We tried to make the most of it. We enjoyed our time together, which was like the point of the trip, you know what I mean? And we had good food and we got to really see like a bit of Boston. We got to check out the Quincy Market. That was a lot of fun, honestly. I'd love to go back there again, actually, but y'all. And just the past couple days in general, like at work, ooh, that's a whole nother topic that I'll probably talk to you guys about in a new video, because this one I've been going on for a while. But work, y'all, work's just, I'll just say this. I feel like I love my job. I'm grateful to have a job. But they just, I don't know, work stresses me out, which I'm sure everybody's job stresses them out. But I just feel like the past couple days have just been so overwhelming. And it's like, I don't know, I'm just really frustrated. But I'll probably talk about that in another video, because like I said, I don't want this one to go on too long. And I feel like I've ate a decent amount of food here and I'm pretty full. So I'm probably going to call it quits for today. I'm probably running out of battery on my phone because, like I said, it only lasts like half an hour. And I don't think this is at full charge. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give us a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.